Hey guys, what a week! Welcome to the TheStellarFox Weekly. Today we have all the news that happened during the last week. We had a pre-patch day coming and all the issues around it. Looks like we have some problems in Versailles as well. New things on live servers and a lot more. So guys, without any further ado, let's go into it. It all started on a Monday with the developers' blue post announcing the server downtime will be from 7 AM Pacific Standard Time all the way till 4 PM Pacific Standard Time on NA servers. 8 hours, a long time. Many people were hoping, yes, take your time, make it good launch. Well, it didn't happen. Around 11 AM we got extension news that the servers will not go up before 15 o'clock. And, well, they didn't go up at 15 o'clock either. They went up at 15:30 and, to be honest, they went up in flames. Login queues as long as 5,000 minutes with over 15,000 people. These queues were only to get into a launcher, not into the game itself. If you somehow managed to get into the launcher, then you got into the separate queue that was in most of the times 3 to 4 hours long. And if by any miracle you actually managed to wait all the way till the end of the counter, well, you just got insta disconnected and you could start all over again. What a perfect day. On the forums, you could see European players showing a solidarity with their North American brethren. And with the solidarity, I mean, geez, I hope the NA gonna get all the bugs fixed so the EU can have a smooth launch. Well, as you can guess, it wasn't smooth. The servers went up in flames again. Even longer queues, people dropping, and to be honest, me personally, I didn't get into the game all the way till Friday afternoon. That's how long it took. There were several patches, several server restarts, both on EU and NA, and it was a general mess. And even when the people finally managed to get in, it was broken. Bugs left, right, character missing. Like, imagine logging on after a level squish, expecting full 14 character slots, and then there's nothing. What a horrific idea. That could wake you up in the nightmares. Eventually, all these bugs got fixed, at least the ones referring to getting into the game. But trouble didn't end there. Once you logged in, all your UI, gone. Add-ons, even after updating, useless. It's for several add-ons, it took all 3 days to release several minor patches to get add-ons working with the current live version again. It was just a nightmare, especially for people who are heavy dependent on weak auras, elf UI and threat plates and etc. On completely separate topic, Blizzard also released and marked spoilers a video that is right after the cinematic for the Shadowlands. You know, the one where Sylvanas beats Bolvar, gets his helm, disenchants it, and opens the gateway into the Shadowlands? Yeah, that one. So, in this cinematic, and I know it's marked spoilers, but let's be honest, this is like not really spoilers. In this cinematic, we can see a Bolvar getting flown up to the Death Knight's citadel, being placed in his private room, and describing to us the events of the cinematic with a little bit of his own inside knowledge. For instance, the way he always thought that the Sylvanas is going to come and take the crown from him, though in the cinematic he says, "The crown will be your prison," which clearly indicates he thought that she wants to become a Lich Queen. But we know how that ended. And to continue with the destruction of the Northrend, we also received a video from Rexroy. Well, in this case, if you were expecting him just random one-shotting someone with a PvP scaling, well, this video was completely different. No one died in the making of this video. What a surprise! Actually, what Rextroy found out, and what you can see in the video that I will link in the description below, is that PvP scaling, basically a primary focus of all his video, is gone. Several tests were conducted by Rextroy, and in each of them it's clearly seen that damage is equal across all the characters, and that taking into account a 5% a spell power variant that Blizzard for some reason introduced, because, well, we cannot have people doing the same damage, right? Well, you could have seen both characters actually doing damage and the same amount of damage being shown on the other character, which is so refreshing. But it didn't last long enough. 2 days after, Rextroy released another video. Well, with what else? One-shotting people. And with what, you ask? Well, a PvP scaling. It actually looks like that a Blizzard forgot to tune some of the other spells, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a theme for weeks to come, as multiple people will be finding new ways that and new spells and items in the world that haven't been tuned properly from 120 down to a 50 level, which, I mean, come on. With the amount of gear and amount of items available across the game, there has to be a couple that just slipped through the cracks. If you are jumping with the joy that the PvP scaling is done, well, it kinda isn't. And I will explain. So, PvP scaling for a direct damage, yes, is gone. There is, however, one subset of items that still have a PvP scaling, and that is trinkets. The trinkets in a PvP environment are doing reduced damage. The amount by which they are reduced is dependent on eye level. In this case, though, the lower you go with the eye level, the lower the amount of damage you actually get from the trinkets. So let's say a character which is with 110 eye level and gets 140 trinket will actually not benefit from the 140 trinket as much in a PvP environment, which is good. This actually means that as you progress through a PvP tiers, your eye level and your gear that which you are getting from a battlegrounds and from all the other PvP vendors, it makes a difference. And that's how it's supposed to be. Speaking of gear and low eye levels, the Relic of the Past got nerfed. What does it mean? Well, Relics of the Past were focused on a catch-up gear that allowed you to craft an item of your choosing based for a specific eye level that you wanted to target. This was supposed to make sure that people have enough gear to level with during 10 to level 50. With on level 50, you were supposed to end up with 87 eye level gear on level 50. However, the new changes, because hey, you cannot have a good gear on level 50, especially when a couple of weeks is gonna be obsolete, right? I mean, level 60 coming, hey? Anyway, Blizzard in its infinite wisdom decided to nerf these stats, so, and in typical Blizzard fashion, well, they just cut it by half. So 87 comes 47, I know, technically not half, but please bear with me. And, well, what you gonna do? It's still better than nothing. It's almost the same as the quest rewards you were getting while leveling, so 0-0, I guess. So why do I make the effort for this? Well, who knows? I mean, there has been some fiascos regarding the relic gear with just unlimited printing money potential for some of the items. If you craft it, if you sell it to a vendor, you get a lot of gold. Thank God that got fixed real quick, because if one thing that we really don't need in WoW right now is a gold inflation. The prices of items are already ridiculous as it is right now. We don't need to get them any higher. Our dependence on add-ons got even highlighted during this week when Wowhead decided to help out ElfUI by providing several additional download sources because the ElfUI page couldn't handle the income load. Well, guys, how do you see it? Is there actually someone still playing with the classic UI? Or is it just that everyone these days playing with a heavy modified UI? I mean, I guess that's the case. But then the next message that we have heard during this week doesn't really make sense, which refers to a Blizzard actually making an announcement that they will try to support graphics cards that are before DirectX 11? What? I mean, with the Shadowlands update, a lot of new graphics settings came on and the graphical improvements. This requires top-of-the-line shaders and all the background stuff that is happening in order for you to see the beautiful world as it is. Well, a complaint came from community that certain graphics cards now are not supported and that computers that are effectively more than 12 years old are no longer be able to play the game. And to be honest, like, how are you playing the game on 12-year-old computer to begin with? Especially not with the ElfUI. Anyhow, this came to me as a big surprise and I actually had to do some digging. So problem here is in the shader 5 that is helping DirectX and basically is making a lot of shaders and graphics possible. This was actually announced on 25th of July 2008, 12 years ago, with the first hardware for this support being Radeon cards as soon as the Q1 of 2009. 11 years ago. Wow, I mean, we are talking about GTX 400 era. Right now, we are at not GTX anymore, RTX 3000. Wow, that's how many generations ago? I don't know, doesn't matter, a lot. So, let's be honest, guys. Blizzard went in this regard always above and beyond, supporting the games way past their lifetime, supporting and making sure that the games are playable on a hardware from years ago. But 12 years? I'm sorry, but there has to be a line. If you are playing on 12-year-old computer, wow, I'm not sure what you're gonna do on a Quaking or Volcanic or any effects that basically creates any sort of AoE effect. Like, can you even go into the LFR with this? Like, I mean, I'm sure you can, physically can, it's like the game will let you. Like, what kind of experience you have though? That's just mind-boggling. Anyway, guys, let me know on my Twitter with links to your UI screenshots and let's see what kind of UI setup you are running and what add-ons are you using. Are you as dependent as I am on the add-ons to go with today? Or do you prefer to run just minimalistic, the default Blizzard UI with just a couple of weak hours? Let me know at TheStellarFox Gaming on Twitter. Speaking of add-ons and UI, we also got a new /reload command for add-ons. You might be thinking, well, we already had that. No, we had a /reload UI. What this new command actually lets you run is to update, add, or remove your add-ons from the add-ons folder without restarting the WoW. All you need to do is, after you're done with all the changes, you just run /reload and new add-ons will pop out, or the ones that you disabled will be gone without a need to actually restart the game, which, let's be honest, once Shadowlands hit and you are one of those people who just want to stay in, because let's be honest, the login queues will be brutal, and the add-ons often don't work on the first few days as intended. So if that is a problem that you're looking to solve, well, Blizzard has us covered in this. On other news, Pre-patch is now live, and what it actually brought? Well, a lot of things. It brought amazing experience in an Exile Reach. That is a new leveling zone for levels 1 through 10. It's a unified zone where all characters, regardless of the origin, if they are in Alliance or Horde, will go through. This will allow you to experience all the core mechanics from professions, getting your new spells, training, all the way down to a small party content with roles specific to whatever you choose. You get to fight a boss together with another tank and healer and DPS, and generally be way better prepared for what is coming for you in levels 11 and beyond. The storyline itself and the amount of gear and custom options for transmog is great. However, there is a small mishap from a Blizzard side, and that is that the sets that are currently available for transmog, they all missing boots. Was there a boot fairy that just stole them away? Well, we will have to see. One of the other features, well, if absence of something is a feature, corruptions are gone. You could see this very heavily on the actual amount of DPS you are capable of pushing through. And, well, some classes don't feel good at all. I tried several of mine, and I can tell you, even though I was already on beta and did a lot of leveling there and etc., and I was kind of prepared for it, when I actually logged in on my retail characters, it just felt wrong. You could open your talents and see that none were assigned. And you could open your spell book, seeing your spells being now spread between a class and your actual spec. A lot of people actually got confused because some spells moved from spec specific, like frost bolts and fire bolts, which are now shared across all mages group. They all moved into the general purpose tab. And many situations like that happen across several classes. One of the unfortunate things that also happened was that rank 2s and several spells got locked behind, well, levels, because you are not max level anymore, fam. Yes, Shadowlands are not here yet, but several spells got taken away from us, and several higher damage ranks got locked away behind level barrier. And if the missing spells weren't enough for you, well, there is always the elephant in the room. Level squish. If you were a level 120 before, now you are glorious level 50. And if your character was somewhere between, well, then you are just whatever Blizzard decided was appropriate level for you, to be honest. In most cases, it just didn't make sense. However, for some classes, the level squish wasn't even the most important thing happening to them. For instance, Shadow Priest already saw implementation of his revamp. Shamans saw removal of the Maelstrom as the resource. And in general, several classes got updates that significantly change how the class feel and how the class will play in the future. And if that is a good or bad thing, well, that depends on who you are asking in which class he's playing. However, for me, with the Blood DK and Brewmaster Monk and the Guardian Druid, all the changes were just fine. I love them, and even though people are still complaining that the Guardian Druid is so boring, well, whatever, mate, whatever suits you. I love it. Hate me for it. Of course, with the class changes, several people start seeing weird things, which showed up that a lot of classes actually got broken during the pre-patch, but don't worry. As I said, there was multiple server resets and patches, and by this time, most of the biggest issues are fixed. By the next reset, everything will be okay and back into the old tracks for this. However, if you still encounter some errors or bugs, please make a few minutes and make a submit. Make sure that all these things are reported and that all of this gets fixed. This benefits not only you, but everyone in the game. So yeah, just make life better, make WoW better. This is actually how you can make a big impact. With a pre-patch arriving, a calendar saw several sketchy things. Well, in the mid of the December, calendar had a Shadowlands dungeon event. Many were arguing that this indicated a release date of a Shadowlands somewhere in the beginning of the December. However, game director Ian Hazzikostas stepped up and said that this was old news, that all the dates in the calendar were generated before with the original release date in mind, and it is not indication of current or future release date. During last week, several interesting things happened in the world of classic Warcraft, with Naxxramas being open for raid testing, both Arachnid and military quarter being tested. What a week, guys! With the launch of the pre-patch, we saw many of our friends returning into the game, logging in for the first time in many months and being quite confused of, well, what's actually happening with the pre-patch? Where's all the new stuff? And where are the Scourge invasions? Well, those are not going to be happening for some time. Actually, we don't know when they are going to be happening. I doubt the Blizzard even knows themselves when they are happening, and I'm probably sure that the Wowhead will know as soon as the Blizzard knows as well. This is a great time, and while I saw influx of people asking on my personal Discord channel, hey folks, what's happening? What are the new features? And it's like, where's the new stuff? And I had to sadly say to them, like, well, none of them are here again. It's like you can still go to sleep and you can wake up when we actually know the release date for the Shadowlands. It was nice to see those faces again, and I'm sure that many of you had a similar experience. However, for me at this time, there is not much to do in retail right now. That's why I'm focusing most of my attention to our beta and to continuous testing and everything. You can see me on twitch.tv/StellarFox Gaming, where I'm playing still a lot of content from a Shadowlands beta, with testing and leveling and just general dungeons walking with all my tank characters, and actually still picking up my DPS spec for the Shadowlands. So if that's something you would guys be interested in seeing, then go over to the twitch.tv. I'm there every day, Monday to Friday, from 1800 o'clock Central Europe time, all the way to around 22-ish. So come by and say hi, guys. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This was a very busy week, and I'm glad I was here for it. And I'm also glad that so many of you took a time out of your busy schedules to see this video. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you dislike it, you know what to do. Other than that, consider subscribing, and please leave the comment in the section below, either here on the video or on Twitter. Thank you very much, and see you next time.